What's going on, all you Minties? Uncanny Omar here, and join me today as I discuss the differences in the newly released tankobon on the left-hand side of Battle Angel Alita and the 2017 Deluxe Edition, and of course compare them to the original translation. So, let's get started. Welcome back, everybody. Now, if you've seen my videos before, my top 20 favorite manga of all time, you know that this particular manga holds a special place in my heart. So much so, I have been waiting over a decade, almost two, for the release of the movie that I finally got to see in theaters, and yeah, you know, I hope they get a sequel. So here we have the original gun, as it's known in Japan, and here in America, Battle Angel Alita. There are several versions of this book out there, and I hope I can clear up some of the confusion out there. So this is the original series. It's just Battle Angel Alita. Then you have Battle Angel Alita Last Order. And Battle Angel Alita Last Order is the follow-up to this series. And then you have Battle Angel Alita The Mars Chronicles. And that serves as both a sequel and a prequel to this series. But those are supposed to be read after this original series. And it all kicks off with Volume 1. Now, Kodansha just recently reprinted this tankobon over here to the left. And a lot of you all have reached out to me to make a video about the differences between the Deluxe Edition, which came out in 2017, and this new tankobon that just came out or was reprinted for 2021. So let's look at them. Obviously the size, I don't really have to even point that out. The spines are different, where you see the creator's name, Yukito Kishiro. It's gold on the left hand side on the tankobon, and it looks like it's a silver tone in the hardcover. Hardcover also says Deluxe Edition Volume 1 and has a darker tone to the red, whereas the tankobon has a brighter red, if you will. Both of them have Kodansha up at the top. And then the back of the books, we have different images. We have one of Alita just sitting up here, while we have her full body right here, her cybernetic body. We do have the same blurbs. James Cameron, just a great kick-ass story, which it is, but it's so much more than that. Come on, James. And one from Anime News Network on both of them. This one has an introduction by Brendan Fletcher, who wrote Motor Crush and Batgirl Burnside, and this does not have an introduction. So this says Volume 1 of 6, so there will be 6 of these, whereas this one doesn't really say anything except soon to be a major Hollywood motion picture, because this came out in 2017. Alright, let's look in here, because this is the brand new one, and I've done an overview of the hardcover before and the box set, and I'll be talking about this particular book and comparing some of the artwork. So here we have Battle Angel Alita, the original cyberpunk classic, as it states here. And it is, and this series was created by Yukito Kishiro. So it looks like we do just jump right in. We have the table of contents right here telling you where you'll find each of the chapters and what page. And we get right into the story. Now, I'll do a comparison here in a little bit, but something you probably could tell here is that the pages are in black and white, and even the colored pages are gone from the original Deluxe Edition. So let's just talk about the story in case you don't know what this is. So it tells the story of Alita, or Gali as she's known as in Japan, and how Ito, Daisuke Ito, this guy right here that fixes things in this world, how he finds her in a junkyard, just part of her body, and he is able to rebuild her using different body parts. Alita has no memories of her past, and she thinks that Ito is going out at night killing people, that he has a secret. And he does have a secret. And the secret is that he is a hunter-warrior, or a bounty hunter. He goes after certain bounties to make money, to buy things, like to fix her up, and then for things around his garage, where he fixes everybody up. And he uses his badass giant hammer with a spike on the end. Oh, it's so awesome. It's rocket powered. Now, remember when I said that Alita has no memories? She does have one thing she remembers, and that's something called a Panzerkunst, which is a martial arts technique. She has no idea why she's able to remember this. All that we know of her is that she is a cyborg that he found and put back together. And named her, I think he named her after his cat, because it's different in the movie. In the movie, I think it's after his daughter. But that's basically it. This is the beginning of the story. This is what I'm talking about, this martial arts move right there. So she herself wants to become a bounty hunter. She makes friends with this young man right here with dreams and aspirations to go to Salem, and his name is Yugo. Now, in the mid-90s, or actually, oh my goodness, early 90s, ADV brought over the OVAs from Japan, and this is the story that inspired those two OVAs. And I loved them. I would watch them over and over, and I remember having them in it was the first anime. No, I did. Vampire Princess Mia was the first anime I had with Japanese dubbing and English subtitles. But it was huge because we didn't get a lot of anime back then. And I remember buying this VHS instead of buying comics that week. Now, one thing I will say about Alita, though, is that it is brutal. Just as a heads up, you can't stomach animals being hurt. This first volume has some of that. As a matter of fact, how she gets the blood markings on her face is kind of rough. But that's what Battle Angel Alita is. Now, let's do a comparison now that I've talked about the story and shown off the artwork. Of course, the biggest difference being the size of the books. This one here, the retail price is $29.99, and it is in stock still as of this video. This one here on the left-hand side is $12.99. Now, the other thing is that this particular book has colored pages. So we do have this right here. All the chapter breaks have the original colors. We have a foreword here by Brendan Fletcher, but just to kind of give you an idea, here's what it looks like in the Tankobon edition to the right-hand side. And the translations are identical to this because they're both owned by Kodansha. The translations of the sound effects are done within the panels, most of the time. God, do I love that piece of art. It is so perfect. Oh, man. But again, black and white in the Tankobon edition. And then just showing these next two pages where Ito finds Alita's body. Such an iconic image, whether it's in black and white or colors. Absolutely beautiful. The paper quality is different. This has a thin, glossy paper stock to it, whereas this has a matte finish to it. It's a little bit thicker than what they use in other tankobons that I've seen. At least that's the way it feels to me. Now, I just want to point out the similarities between these two pages and compare this translation to the original translation here in America that came out in the early 90s. But they called this floating place right here Salem. So this right here, this place is called Salem in the new translation. Whereas in the original translation, they refer to this floating city as Typhorus. And as you can tell, the scans on the original translation were pretty rough. The scans in the new printing are stunning. They look flawless, other than the fact, that they're smaller scale than the deluxe edition. But this is the way that they were printed originally in Japan. And let's just do a couple more pages here. In the original translation, they actually translate the entire sound effect, whereas they keep it in Japanese and then have a translation above it or underneath it, or sometimes outside of the panel. I love the fact that both translations have the Panzerkunst meaning down here at the very bottom. And again, this one reading from left to right, so it has the mirrored treatment to it. And this being published in the way that it was originally published in Japan. Alright, I just have to show off how amazing the fighting is within this manga. It's so easy to follow too, regardless of how many action lines that he puts in there. Awesome. Now, if you want to see a full, let's look at the other page comparison. If you want to see a full detailed overview of the box set, I did that on the channel a few years ago. If you want to check that out, and I did one for the deluxe edition, comparing it to other parts that were translated differently. But this is mainly a comparison between this and the deluxe edition. Now, the other thing I was going to say is why the different page count. They look just as thick. If not, the tankobon looks a little bit thicker. Let's look at it from this angle here so you can tell. Well, that goes with the paper stock. The paper stock here that they're using for the deluxe edition is thin, glossy paper, whereas this edition has the thick matte paper. Now, this goes to page 336 and this goes to page 430. So what else besides the translation, the foreword is in here? Well, more chapters. That's what's in here. Now, I have to censor the word bubbles because that is a big spoiler, just in case you haven't read this. But on the right-hand side, that is the final page of the tankobon. As a matter of fact, the next page is just telling you the information when this book was originally printed. This version was originally printed in Japan in 2014. So in the deluxe edition, you also get 30 more pages of additional story, plus some translation notes that I can't show because they're a bit of a spoiler. You get an advertisement for The Last Order. However, the translation notes are done also in this version here. The deluxe edition really collects 2 of the original tankobons, whereas this collects about 1 2/3. I'm not sure why they didn't go all the way for 2, but that's the big difference. You'll have the translation notes that you have here towards the end of the next chapter, but for example, let's compare these. So here ends Battle Angel Alita Book 1. Same thing here. As a matter of fact, the page numbers are the same, even though this one didn't have an introduction. Then you have the factories of and the Deckmen explained, the birth of Deckmen. These are the robots that help out Ito in the shop. And then the translation notes towards the end of the first book. So the translation notes are here. However, Tears of an Angel doesn't have this color image. It has this image right here, which you could find on the opposite side of the table of contents for the second book. Whereas this doesn't have a table of contents. It just jumps in to the story. So that's the biggest differences. Now for me, this being one of my top, oh my goodness, this is probably up in the top 5 favorite manga of all time, I have to have it in the best possible format. So for me, it has to be the deluxe edition. I think it's perfect. It's a perfect size. It's not too bulky. And if from time to time, Kodansha reprints the box set, which to me is a better way to get these. You get all 6 of the volumes in there, including the extra volume that has Ash and Victor. And you get all the color pages. They're all in there. Whereas in this Kodansha version, they're all in black and white. Of course, again, the price point being one of the biggest things, this one being $29.99 and this being $12.99. So if you've never read them, then honestly, this right here is completely worth checking out. If you've never read it, if you've never read a manga, I strongly suggest getting this version right here. I think it's cheap enough to give it a shot. It's wonderful. It's awesome. There's a reason why James Cameron wanted to make it into a movie. Oh my goodness, and we had to wait almost 2 decades for that thing, if not longer. Hopefully we'll get a sequel to that. But that's it. That's the comparison. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing either of these books, don't forget to check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They pride themselves on packaging your books so they arrive safely in an excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. Check out the bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. CGN is excited to announce that they are now taking pre-orders. They're making it easier for you to ensure that you don't miss out on the hottest releases. CGN is currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, let them know that you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. This promotion is valid for U.S. customers only. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount and quality shipping and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were the differences between the 2 editions, and of course, just a little bit of comparison to the original translation. If you have any more questions, leave them down below, and if you have picked this up, what's your favorite version? Do you like the deluxe edition? Do you like the paper in the deluxe edition? Or are you a traditionalist that loves the tankobon in the smaller size? Or a purist of the original Viz translation and the left to right format that came out here in America so many years ago? Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, ring that bell for notifications to let you know when our videos are going live. We are on Spreadshop and on Patreon. Amazing ways to support the channel if you can do so. And thank you so much to our existing patrons. Couldn't make videos like this possible without you all. This was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all for watching. And more importantly, everyone, please stay healthy, stay safe, and much love.